What's up, concert addicts? Johnny Kinswater here with some tour news, kind of a tour update. I'll fill you in on the situation as of yet, because if you're a fan of Cannibal Corpse, you've probably been following this story since it happened, and I can't remember exactly when that was. Seems like it was a couple weeks ago. Cannibal Corpse guitarist Pat O'Brien was arrested at his house and put into jail, right? That sounds not too crazy for a rock star. Then you start hearing about the circumstances. So his house somehow became engulfed in flames. The police believe that he started the fire on accident somehow, maybe on purpose. The dude was clearly tripping balls or fucked up on something, according to a lot of reports. So neighbors call the cops saying the guy next door's house is burning down. So the cops show up and they think no one's home. The dude broke into his neighbor's house after setting his house on fire and then hid in his neighbor's closet. Started screaming all sorts of crazy shit. Cops got there. He ran at the cops with a knife. Luckily he wasn't shot. And then apparently, I don't know if he was a doomsday guy or what, and I clearly don't know all the details of the full story, but bullets started going off in his house, and so it took them forever to put out a house fire that usually wouldn't take a competent fire department very long. Nobody's inside, that kind of thing. Pretty basic job, but they were there fighting this fire all night because they had to stop because bullets were going off. And then he appeared in court wearing a suicide vest. And yeah, not a whole lot of information on that either. And I don't want to speculate or talk because obviously this dude is going through some stuff. And I'm not going to talk down on him. But Cannibal Corpse has some pretty major plans for 2019 as they did in 2018. So the question has been, how is this going to affect it? And it really won't, luckily. At least not majorly. It will affect it, as in, obviously, Pat O'Brien will not be with him. But I will read the statement on who they got to replace him, posted on Cannibal Corpse's social media. Cannibal Corpse enlist Eric Rutan, I'm probably saying that wrong, to fill in for Pat O'Brien on upcoming tours. Cannibal Corpse have announced that Eric Rutan will fill in for guitarist Pat O'Brien as O'Brien tends to personal issues. Rutan will appear live with the band for the Decibel Magazine tour and the upcoming U.S. leg of Slayer's final tour happening this May alongside Slayer, Lamb of God, and Amon Amarth. This won't be the first time these death metal powerhouses have worked together. Rutan has produced 4 albums with Cannibal Corpse and is uniquely equipped to fit the role. He is one of death metal's most acclaimed guitarists who is known for his time as part of Morbid Angel, and he's actually had like 3 different runs with Morbid Angel. But they're co-headlining the Decibel tour alongside Cannibal Corpse throughout the 90s and early 2000s, as well as handling vocals and guitars and production duties for his current band, Hate Evil. And then there's a list of all sorts of dates, because I was not kidding when I said that they had a big year planned, and that this Pat O'Brien thing, as shitty and whatever as it is, it's pretty bad timing for this to happen, but it looks like they got it figured out. And yeah, I'm not sure of the story behind his time with Morbid Angel, but I don't believe that there's any hostility or anything. The fact that he's come and gone from there so many times. So I think them touring together won't be a problem. And I don't see why it would, even if they hated each other, because, apparently everybody in Motley Crue hated each other, and they still did like 3 years of a final tour. They just took 4 different tour buses, and these guys aren't even playing in the same band, so they wouldn't even have to see each other if they don't want to. And I'm purely speculating. There's probably no tension at all, and I didn't care to look it up because I'm obviously not an expert on this stuff. So my purpose here is really just to read this statement and kind of give my opinion on the news, even though I'm not familiar with a lot of the background of these bands. That being said, I'm glad that none of these tours are going to be majorly affected by it, because I know a lot of people have been looking forward to that Slayer tour, because I think this will be the year they wrap it up. They kind of made it seem like last year was going to be the year, but we all knew that that's not how it happens, because bands, usually they'll announce a final tour and then they'll come back anyways, but if they don't, their final tour usually drags. We're seeing that right now with Elton John and Ozzy Osbourne, and with the fan base that Slayer has, we're probably going to get the same thing. So I'm not even sure if they've announced a final show yet. I'm assuming they have. I know they're playing some big show in New Mexico or something that some of my friends are going to, and I don't know if that's supposed to be the last one or not. was kind of quite a drive, so I assumed that it was a big deal for them to put all that effort into going. Nonetheless, yeah, Cannibal Corpse guitarist Pat O'Brien has been replaced. Whew, that's a crazy story, man, and my thoughts really go out to him, because obviously you want to say, you know, he's just an asshole, you know, whatever, but I'm not a huge fan of talking bad about people, especially on the internet, because I think there's enough other people to do that. So I really just hope he gets his shit figured out. But unfortunately, even if he does get his shit figured out, running at a cop with a knife is a very serious offense. And so even if he gets clean and sober and gets some of his sanity back, he still might be looking at some serious time here. And so yeah, I wish the best to him. And luckily nobody was hurt in that fiasco, besides him. Obviously, he got roughed up. But yeah, so I will post a link to the full information, the statement, and any of the affected dates, in case you really care. I'm not a huge fan of Cannibal Corpse, right? So Pat O'Brien wasn't a name that I knew, but maybe he is actually pretty famous to a lot of other people. So if him not being on the tour, if a guitarist not being on the tour would really affect you going, then I'm going to post the link for you so you can see which dates have been affected. But it's every date, because Pat O'Brien's not going anywhere anytime soon. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe and like the video if you liked it. Also check out my Facebook page, facebook.com/concertaddiction. Never miss anything going on in the world of live music. Thanks for watching this video, and until next time.